going on, vintage gamers? It has been a week or so just trying to test PO for Four Seasons over in Italy, but we were having the challenge, and I remember that one time we played with this Hurkyl Master Wizard card, and I had a really good time, and I haven't really played with the card again since then, so I feel like, it's time to break it back out. Pretty cool that we can play something like Dress Down and Remora as both being enchantments that will help find each other. And then, of course, we're going to play Repeal as a way to cycle our Repeal off of a Mox, which makes we automatically are going to get end of turn. We'll get another Mox. Maybe we'll get a Force of Will from the instant part of Repeal. So should be pretty fun. I really enjoyed this card the last time I played with it, and it's a kind of a fun little deck building challenge. You have to kind of decide what types of cards you want to hit with your non-creature spells, right? And you need to have the sufficient numbers to actually make it there. So theoretically, we're just trying to hit artifact in an instant most of the time, but we also have, somewhat of an ability to find, enchantment, some sorceries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sorcery. And then these are all instant. So instant will be the common one. Though instant's kind of a hard one because you want it to trigger this at your end step, right? So you have to cast the instant on your turn. So there's a little tug, a little push and pull there, but not too bad here when you're thinking you have a decent chance of turning another sorcery into another extremely powerful spell. Maybe we can turn a Remora or a Dress Down into one of the other. And even Narset and Karn is a possible hit, even though it is not very likely. So you really want to maximize your non-creature spells to make this card work, and this deck does that. So should be pretty fun. We're going to take it for a spin in a league and just have a good time and make something a little bit more interesting than your same old PO. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. All right, found a wild Maharu Fuyamiya. Has been playing a variety of decks recently, not just Oath. Even though Oath was the most played deck at the most recent challenge, or the most recent Saturday challenge, I should say. Actually, I think Maharu played Init Tinker in that one. It always feels to me like non-Saga and non-Tinker players always overrate both the card Saga and especially the card and Initiative, I guess I should say. I don't know, it just feels like a grass is always greener on the other side kind of deal. But let's see. This hand needs some help, but has powerful cards in it. This could be, I can't imagine I'm supposed to mulligan this hand, but it definitely has some issues. So here comes Urza Saga. Miharu is now a Saga gamer. Damn. Saga Soul Ring is definitely a powerful start. You just basically what this does is it frees you to play an island on turn 2, and that makes all the difference, right? Saga being a colorless land that also needs 2 mana to activate, things get really challenging. But so let's see what I can find here. So they are on initiative. So this is my apps. Look at this. We're playing Lavinia in our Urza Saga deck. The good news is they have the initiative creatures. So if that's a fast enough clock, then it'll be really strong. I just I don't see it being a fast enough clock, right? How much better is my opponent's chance to win this game if instead of playing an Urza Saga on turn 1, they simply played an island, and on turn 2 they played a Lavinia, and then how can I ever win? But what do I know? I am just a Tinker player. Ooh, that's kind of exciting too. I mean, we are just very easily going to win this game, right? We're just going to untap and Tinker. We can just let them get the initiative. Who cares? Who cares about the initiative? The initiative is vastly overrated and incorrectly analyzed in vintage community right now. People will come in from Legacy where, yeah, the initiative mechanic was really messed up and very, very, very strong. But the reason that the initiative deck in Vintage is good is not because of the initiative. The reason that the Vintage deck is good is because of Archon of Emeria, right? Yeah, you got it. Don't care very much here. It is worth noting that my deck doesn't have like beautiful win cons in it, so there are some there are some issues, but tinkering with the top should be just good enough anyways. And even if my opponent top deck a force, I have a force coming, so. And if initiative is a great way to make your Archon of Emeria lethal. It's really nice. So what do I want to do here? I think the answer is just going to be... I want to take Mystical so that I can always Time Walk here. All right, she's off it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, in my mind, tapping 3-4 mana to play these initiative creatures and you just die, right? Like, this is Vintage. You can't be you can't be doing this. I'm telling you. Island greater than Saga. But I know that you have to be able to look at it from other perspectives, right? I typically approach this from a combo perspective. I do think that playing a combo deck is, what you really need to be doing. But like, if I'm playing a controlling deck or a slower deck or, another deck, then maybe an initiative creature is much higher threat. So definitely my viewpoint is always influenced by the decks that I like to and prefer to play. So something to keep in mind. So the big question ends up being, does my opponent play Hullbreacher? Does my opponent play Archon of Emeria? Those are the cards I actually care about. Whereas the initiative creatures are they're just there. They can win the game, of course. They are obviously strong cards, but they are not really the cards that I'm looking to battle with. Verse, I guess. I'm gonna get the Remoras out. Bring in the Trap and the Dismembers. And probably, I'm already at 12 lands. So I probably don't want to go lower than 12 lands, though. Negation actually gets a lot better in this matchup compared to normal initiative. The reason for that is because they actually play things like Tinker and those kind of payoff spells. So. Dismember is unfortunately way worse than Swords to Plowshares against Lavinia, but there's not much I can do if I'm cutting white. Like, Dismember is just the best, most generic catch-all. I can definitely play black removal spells, but I think with the percentage of the field that Lavinia occupies, which is not a huge percentage of the field, it's totally fine to just play Dismembers. I think I'm just going to trim on one Repeal, because I'm not really sure what else I want to do here. This is one of the problems with Hurkyl and just blue cards in general is that it's really hard to cast on turn 1, right? Cards like Narset, Hurkyl, Teferi. Manifold Key, huh? The good news is I could just hold a Moxen and then play a Moxen after I play my Hurkyl, or the same turn I play my Hurkyls next turn, though I haven't drawn... I do want to play a Moxen out now in case they do play Lavinia on turn 2. So... this is the kind of hand that can be really exposed by a like a fast initiative draw. I mean, even a Lavinia is just insane here, right? It's just unlucky for me that my opponent didn't draw any sagas, but it is what it is. I will be able to block this, but I won't be able to really extract the advantage out of my Hurkyls, because the cards that I'm trying to draw with my Hurkyl are typically, free. So, like, it's going to be really tough for us. I will still cast my Emerald into the Lavinia. And the reason for that is I can turn this into like a Sensei's Top. So yeah, I mean, I guess at some point I could maybe hit 4 lands and then I can hard cast Trap, but I assume we're gonna lose this game because my opponent played one of the strongest cards against PO. This is something that could have happened last game, and we would have had a force actually, but I don't know. This is what happens when your mind is not on sagas. All right, so yeah, I turned this into a mana vault. I did lose a Dismember here though, so you guys reveal the top 5 cards for each card type among non-creature spells you cast this turn. You may put a card of that type. Yep. So I did lose a Dismember to the bottom there, which is unfortunate because we actually have the lands to play to make Dismember. A cool thing next turn is we can probably... No, we can't do that yet either. Oh, okay. Well, we've been bested. My opponent played a Lavinia, and we lost the game. It does work like that, so... I wonder... I still don't think Remora with the number of creatures my opponent's playing makes a lot of sense. Maybe just because of Moxen, it makes enough sense to play it on the play, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, Lavinia is definitely always good against all my decks. I mean, the way I approach Vintage is you want to be doing something extremely powerful, right? And to do that, typically I want to play all my Moxen, play things ahead of curve, do degenerate things. And Lavinia surely says no to most of that. Very, very annoying because, can't get negated either. The really only downside of Lavinia, those 2 downsides. One is it's so hard to cast. It's so hard to cast. And you just, sometimes turn 2 is not fast enough, right? If my opponent was on the draw in that game, the Lavinia probably wasn't fast enough. And then the other downsides is it's not that good in multiples. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but with only 2 black on turn 1. I feel like I should just keep this. Doesn't get hit by Flusterstorm. Maybe this is bad. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I would like to have another payoff spell, but... Looks like a probe is happening. So the jig is up. Not much I can really change here. Oh wow, they have Sapphire Tundra. If they threw down Lavinia, I would be doomed. Saga Gaming. Oh, they are playing Archon. Wow. Smart. Sideboard Archon, probably. That's so frustrating. It is what it is. Probably lose this game. They're probably not even going to play a spell this turn. They'll probably just slam a Construct token. I can't even fetch a basic. I have to fetch an Underground Sea. And it'll become untapped. Yeah. It's super doomed. It's super doomed. There is just no chance. Because these constructs are going to hit my life total. I can only cast 1 spell per turn. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Archon of Emeria. Best card in the deck, and that's my single big problem with these Initiative Tinker decks is not only are they not playing the Archon in the main, they don't have the Cavern to support the Archon. It's just so rough. My opponent did not activate their Urza Saga there, which is not good for them, I must admit. I don't really... I guess I can just turn off Saga. But I can't play another spell this turn, so... let's just go kill the Sapphire. Actually, I might be able to get a Sphinx of the Steel Wind here. Black, white, blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to draw pick a basic island. That's kind of unfortunate. I have to fetch now before I get needled by accident. Yeah, the Archon prevents me from getting a needle and needling the Saga, unfortunately, so... Actually, what I can do is... God, they're not even going to make a construct token? Okay. I guess they're going to play a... What? I have a Karn in play. Maharu is making some odd plays in this game, I must admit. I guess this makes more sense because a mana rock doesn't do anything. I don't know. This play was kind of odd to me. But I can actually just stand up this Citadel. I mean, maybe they can swords me if I do that, but... I do also have a Mana Crypt in play, which is not good for the home team. I did draw the basic island. Holy crap. So now I could go minus and get a Sphinx. And then they would actually be able to kill my Karn. That's interesting, huh? I feel like I don't want that to happen. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure which one is better here. That's a good draw. It's a really strong draw. You can do it on their turn. Just gonna stand up this Citadel. That draw is so good. That repeal is great. Oh, they have Swords of Plowshares? Maybe they kept it for Hurkyls? It's kind of crazy. Wow. That's so bad for me. I've been getting really destroyed recently by I guess I just lose by people leaving in swords against me, and my deck has 2 creatures in it. like this is objectively bad, right? But I mean, I guess if I had gotten Sphinx, it would have been bad for me too. So it's so weird. Guess we're pretty dead. I guess we're pretty dead. All right, I think I'm gonna repeal the Archon and try to get somewhere. Because I don't really know how else I'm getting. I just draw PO right now, right? Repeal the Archon, draw PO is like the plan. No. All right. I mean, I could play this out more, but I just don't feel like it. Well, that's unfortunate. I think we were in a really good spot to win that game, but I was not ready for swords. Is what it is. All right, back at it again. This time versus Luris. Don't know if my opponent's a wasteland deck, so I'd rather just get this. Actually, I'm gonna play the. Let's get the Opal just in case we get Lavinia again. Passing again. Interesting. It's a good draw. Don't know. Might just be Jeskai. Yeah, it's a good brainstorm. If you're gonna tap out like this, I'm gonna just cast Ancestral. I'm not overdrawing, and I'm more worried about Fluster Pyro than I am about the other things. Spreading Seas, huh? Yeah, I'm down to continue fighting over this. I'm not really convinced my opponent is gonna play something that matters on their turn, and I'm more interested in acquiring the goods. I think they're on like Jeskai nonsense, so Mental Misstep is a pretty good draw. Merchant for PO is applicable here. Tundra for sure, yeah. I guess we do need to play around Flusterstorm at this point. And we can do that by playing in their upkeep if we want. Though that obviously opens them up to Hardcast Negation and Pyroblast and all kinds of things. But I think upkeep makes the most sense here. This way we are beating just Flusterstorm. Obviously, if they have Pyro and Flusterstorm, that's okay. But we'll just have a Vamp for something. Wow, they're just Resolvers? We're just on Resolvers? Okay, I mean... A little weird, but... I'll take it. Preordain. Sure. I mean... What are we doing over there? I just can't fundamentally get behind these Jeskai decks. To me, they just look really silly. Let's brainstorm and then shuffle using Vamp. Kind of like the idea of a Hurkyl just to continue generating value against this deck. I feel like we don't need a Dress Down or a Ponder, though a Ponder is a sorcery for us. I might Vamp for a Flusterstorm. Kind of seems silly, though. I don't know. Maybe I Vamp for like a Karn. Time Walk. Time Walk gives us instant... Well, I mean, why am I assuming that this Hurkyl is going to resolve, right? I feel like if we just take a Flusterstorm here and extract instant artifact value off of Hurkyls, and then we have a top. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's... Maybe this is too conservative, but... Like, I could just go for another payoff spell, right? Like, I could just have Tinker, and I could slam Hurkyls first, and then Tinker kind of thing. Let me get at least a Sapphire in play first. All right, so Mana Vault, Opal. Just gonna cycle on my Opal. I guess I could cycle on my top, really. I have all the kinds of mana, right? Just get maximum. We're just grinding now. Apparently, we're the mid range value deck now. We got Pyro and Swords covered really well, so I like the spot we're in. Maybe I should like assume my Hurkyls will resolve, considering that I have a. They could definitely have swords in their hand. Wow, they're just gonna go all in. Pitching Flusterstorm. So they did have Flusterstorm. So I'm kind of happy that I didn't go for a crazy like Tinker line if they had Force Fluster in their hand. But you know, I mean, they could still easily have. I guess they can't have anything now because they got rid of their Fluster and they didn't have another mana. So this Hurkyl should at least extract good value. I guess it could always miss. Karn, sweet. Lotus, okay. Yeah, I mean, I vibe with that. All right, and then end step we can get Ruby Mystical. Yeah, I'm down. Then we can Mystical on our upkeep for like Tinker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was pretty sweet. All right, I'm pretty happy we did this because that produced the good chemicals, if I had to say so. So they got an Ancestral off a Merchant Scroll, and they cast Ancestral, 5 cards in hand. They can't use any Moxen. I mean, we're in a good spot. Even if they like Ancestral into Dig here, or Ancestral into Cruise here, are they really winning? Like, I actually, what we can do now, I should have taken the Flusterstorm, actually. I didn't even think about this. I should have taken the Flusterstorm off the Hurkyls instead of the Mystical, because I can just, oh, I don't have enough mana anymore now. Man, I guess the Yagwil is also probably just winning, so. But if I had taken the Fluster off of the Hurkyl's trigger, I could just go for Lattice Lock, right? I mean, maybe I should just go Time Walk first. Or Tinker. Tinker can get Yagwil or Time Walk, which is kind of cool. Yeah, let's just do Tinker. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that I could just get the Fluster off of the Hurk. Oh, I didn't think they would, maybe they wouldn't tap out if they saw that. So maybe that's something to consider. Like I have no, there's no way I know that they're tapping out, right? I think I'm just gonna clear their yard so they can't dig through time next turn. And then I played what? Instant Sorcery Artifact. And I can spin to make sure. Well, spinning doesn't really help me. I can't get this Remora. And I can't get this Narset. So what I might do is I'm going to get this Probe and I can get this top back. So what I can do is instead put the Narset on top and draw the Narset so that I guarantee myself to get the Narset and I can just get the top and the Probe with my other ones. And I get the instant PO. Yeah, this card is so sweet. Like, oh man, I just love it. Yeah, cool. We are just doing, this card is just simply out-grinding the Jeskai deck, which is kind of fun. Oh no, a monkey. We're going for me? We're going for the wham, the whammy off the top? What do we got? What do we got? Flusterstorm. Unlucky. So next turn we have sorcery artifact instant again. Oh, they hit time walk. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I feel like I haven't even been paying attention to what my opponent's been doing. Maybe they're doing something strong. I couldn't tell you, really. They could have attacked this Karn twice and killed the Karn. Maybe that's not good. I don't know. PO. Bounce your Mox and your Ragavan. Draw 2. Ooh. Could be fun. Could be fun, opponent. They might do it. They only have 2 cards in hand. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do it. That's exciting. Now they can just replay their Ragavan. Hell yeah. All right, that was sweet. All right, so, I mean, I don't really know how I lose from here, but show me your hand. Swords, Prismatic Ending, Wasteland, Lavinia? All right, I guess I will just Lattice Lock them. I have a blocker, so no problem. Cool. I kind of zoned out in the middle of that game after extracting maximum value. At some point, I just I was like, whatever, Jeskai. There's no sequence you can do that's powerful enough for me to care. They do have Lavinia though, which is unfortunately the bane of our deck's existence here. I guess we'll bring in some dismembers then. And I'll just take out negation. I don't really like negation that much. I don't really like a lot of things versus Jeskai. Like this mystical, I don't really like. These negations, I don't really like. But the other cards aren't very good anyways. So. Negation we can technically hard cast as well, so there's like some upside there. Maybe I just don't need dismembers when I have dress downs, and I just like didn't draw the dress downs when I needed them before. That's probably true. But they also have like Arcanists and stuff, and their deck doesn't really get rolling without their creatures, so there's like reasonable upside for dismember, so let's just keep it. Man, Sand is an island away from being real fun, huh? Could I keep it on the draw? What's my percentage chance of drawing a blue source? Not very high, right? 12, 13, 14. Yeah, not even, because Academy. All right, much more reasonable hand here. Let's just get rid of the PO for now. Pretty far away from that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to progress in this game. It could be something like end of turn brainstorm, upkeep, vamp. My opponent is a wasteland deck, so I have to be a little careful getting these underground seas. I definitely like wasn't super into whatever my opponent was doing last game, but they are, Lavinia Wasteland. So, and Jeskai typically historically has good matchup against PO, and our deck is more, I would say, more PO-esque than a lot of builds we play. It is like very heavily in on spells and stuff. Wasteland, huh? I guess my opponent could have got Luris at some point last game too. I don't know if that did anything, but this just seems like a pretty reasonable Flusterstorm. The question is, do I get an Underground Sea or not? I think I'm gonna get an island. Well, if I got an Underground Sea and I vamped, what would I vamp for? So I could theoretically get an Underground Sea, upkeep Vamp, get a Black Lotus, Yogg Will for black, or Black Lotus on black mana. Yogg Will, bring back my Lotus, crack my Lotus for blue mana, Brainstorm with a fetch land. My opponent might have Pyro. Is there any other line? I can Vamp for a Sapphire and then Brainstorm. It's like just so bad. I could Vamp for... I don't know. I think my Vamps look kind of bad, to be honest. But except for like Black Lotus, Yogg Will. But is that really a good use of my Yogg Will in this matchup? I don't really think so. I think I'm just going to go Island. The reason I'm doing this now because I just feel like it's a good window to utilize my Flusterstorm. There's possibilities my Flusterstorm won't be live at other points in this game, and especially when my opponent maybe wants to cast Ancestral or something. So let's just naturally draw. That's pretty bad. Now we are like have to hit our Brainstorm or we lose, which is not a great place to be. I mean, we could easily Brainstorm, lock ourselves, and lose here too. Don't think I am allowed to worry about that. They might just Pyroblast this anyways. Yeah, they are going to. Okay. I kind of felt like they had Pyroblast. They're down to 3 cards. Another reason to counter Merchant Scroll is that if my opponent plays a Dreadhorde Arcanist, you don't want them to have an Ancestral in their yard. That's another big one. All right. We are in trouble for sure. All they need here is like a Preordain. Even that is annoying. I'll probably just stress down this Arcanist so that they don't get an extra card. I mean, my opponent knows my whole hand if they think this is worth dealing with and grabbing an extra card for themselves, denying me a card. Yo, interesting. Okay. I just need some serious Moxen mana from here. BPL. Man, I wish I could just repeal this. That'd buy me some time. I mean, my opponent clearly has more interaction, but really just haven't had the draws line up. I guess I would have been a lot better off with my Vamp line, huh? My Vamp for Lotus. And it's hard to know what cards I'm going to naturally draw, but... I don't think I have a very high likelihood of winning this game. Ooh. Yeah, that can't be good for me either. If an opponent doesn't make blue mana, they could get Lurrus into play if they'd like. Especially with Lotus, it makes a lot of sense. So just play with these 3 mana, play Lurrus, replay Lotus. My opponent draws Lotus, but I'm not allowed to draw Lotus. Where's the fairness in that? Rude. How do I win this game? I guess if I draw Lotus and resolve a Yogg Will, I could play a Citadel maybe. Just gonna upkeep this dress down and I don't know. What else am I doing with my life? I just don't have any mana. I guess this might have been a good thing I didn't fetch an Underground Sea to get Wastelanded if I'm gonna have this little mana. I am only playing 12 lands in this version, for what it's worth. But... Hardcast Force? Sure. I might just counter this. This way they don't have a Lotus this turn. They don't have a yeah, I mean, if they want to fight over this, it just feels fine, right? Like, my Flusterstorm is probably not going to be very useful, considering they're going to have a Lotus every turn. This is fine. I guess I could just negate the Lotus, but I do want the card from Dress Down. I don't really think negating the Lotus is really what I want. What I want is to draw out of my situation, so... Like, if they fluster off this, then they're down to 3 cards. They're just going to hit for 4 this turn. We can at least, you know, have outs, I think. But, I don't know. My opponent gets to make all the choices in this game, so not worth worrying about here. A repeal. Yeah, the repeals have not looked good when you don't have mana. All right, found the Underground Sea. The problem is currently the Yogwill is not very good. I still just need to hit more Mox mana. I think they have at least a Flusterstorm, if not more, in their hand. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it might be even better for me that this happened than not. Kind of depends. I will get this wastelanded, but I will definitely just vamp for Black Lotus and try to do something with Yogwill. Guess I can just have another counterspell, right? They also can rebuy their Lotus here. If they ever hit an Ancestral Recall, the game, we can immediately move to the next game. Oh. Yeah, I don't feel like playing through that. Let's just go to the next game. That's fine. Just run it back. Man, why? Even when I'm down to 1 Opal in the deck, I still have the Opal only hands, huh? What is this? Magic the Gathering? Come on now. It's mulligan. Man, these hands are just not going to get the job done is the problem. Like, I can't realistically put this back, but am I under some kind of... Like, I'm just never going to win with this, though, either. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, mulligan that hand and look for something with Tinker and then just, accept that I will lose to a force. Alright, so I'm just going to take these spells, and then what I'll do is I'll fetch away the island, and we'll go hopefully draw a Moxen and cycle with Hurkyls. At least this is a plan. It doesn't really feel like a good plan for what it's worth, but it is a plan. Monkey? Any monkey? No monkey. They got something, though. It's just ancestral. Just jamming? Man. This is so bad for me. It's kind of an aggressive ancestral, if I had to say. Wow. All right. You got it. I'm pretty jealous of my opponent having both ancestral and island in their 7-card hand. Just regular monkey. That means they have something. Yeah, well, I told you I didn't expect to win, but I guess I never had a chance if they had a hand that was force and that. I mean, if they don't have a removal for this Hurkyls, I guess. Like, if their only thing is Flusterstorm, then maybe there's a chance. No, they have a Pyro. Man, we are just being used and abused. Do I even want to play this out? Like, is there a point? Doesn't feel like it. It's just really... Yeah, it's just Ancestral Recall. I guess I'm happy I didn't draw Forcible. Just infinite card draw. Oh, yeah. All right, well, if I can't win the game on this turn, I will concede. So Tinker is the only draw. All right. Yeah, I've been bested. Pretty brutalized. Brutalized? Rough. All right. You can't just let a couple losses deter you. You must power on. Like that. Look at that. Rewarded. It's beautiful. Playing it like this to get maximum value around Vigor. This is Merchant Scroll for PO. Not a bad hand. Unfortunately, opponent had other ideas, but we have it again on the next turn. Never mind. Wait. That's actually big brain. That actually just helps us. That's perfect. We're doing it again. Is there any way I can PO and Merchant Scroll? Well, I mean, I can probably do that after I do the thing. Yeah. We'll do it again. Get my Tolarian Academy back. Gimme. Man, Yogwill is a broken card. Yogwill needs some more. People need to respect Yogwill some more, man. That card is so nasty. Could Underworld Breach have done that? Could Underworld Breach have made that play? No. Now put some respect back on Yogwill. All right, so we know my opponent is on a Wasteland Force of Will deck. Man, we are playing against all the Pyroblast decks today, apparently. There's like -1 Pyroblast decks in the format, and we are playing against 2. Illegal. I don't really know. Do we really want things? It depends on if they're Collect Roof version or not. I mean, we don't know what they're on, right? Let's bring in 1 Dismember in case they're on Collect Roof. Hey, we have Dress Down. We don't need Dismember. We'll just run it back. Dress Down is so broken. Who needs removal? It's fine. We'll just run it back. We don't know what opponent's on. Damn, what are these hands? Magic Online saw us losing, and they were like, man, if he loses one more game, he's going to quit on us. We need to give him some seriously good hands. Oh, man. I'm all about this. Let's go. Can we not do this? Stony Silence? What am I doing? What am I playing against? How did I find 2 non-existent Jeskai decks? How did this happen? I guess I should have played around Days. Whoops. I mean, they're just dead again. What is going on? Our hands have been absurd in this. These are the best 2 games. We just had Tolarian Academy triple Mox hands. What? Really? You can concede again. Sorry, friend. Yup. I feel like we just flew too close to the sun, right? We just had the most OP Force of Will, triple Mox, Tolarian Academy hands, and now we're back to normal 50 cards number 55 through 60. The difference between having like the best cards in your hand and like the 56th through 60th cards in your hand is so high in Vintage. It's crazy. But, it's okay. Magic Online sufficiently gave me enough dopamine to continue playing, so here we are. My opponent's going to play a turn 1 6-drop because, Mishra's Workshop, fair and balanced. Jeez, okay. I didn't think I was going to counter that chalice, seeing as I have a repeal of my own here. I can always repeal when I deem it to be necessary and move on from there. My opponent didn't have anything to play with their 6 mana, so I don't exactly know what that indicates. Maybe they have, I mean, if they had a PO or something, they could have just played, you know, they could have played it. So I'm not really sure what they have going on for us here. A Revoker. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about Revoker, but it is what it is. So it looks like it's going to be Prison Shops then. I guess it could still be Aggro Shops as well. But they didn't play... They must have just drawn Revoker, and they have no lands? What is in their hand? Wait, what can possibly be in their hand? That's so odd, isn't it? Like, they don't have a land drop, but they didn't have any play off of 5 mana. What? Am I missing something? Am I losing my brain? Maybe both. Wasteland. They were just holding Wasteland. Is this Golos? Man, I guess we're gonna go. We're gonna strip Golos all the way down. Sorry, Golos. There will be no Golosing in this household. It's a good draw. Repeal. All right, so a problem here is that if I repeal the Chalice, I don't have the mana to play Tinker. But if I don't repeal the Chalice and my Tinker has a bunch of zeros on top, I'm going to be super sad. Maybe I should just play Hurkyls. Hurkyls just blocks this entire board. I get Wastelanded, but we can just keep going, right? Like, kind of think the Hurkyl looks like a better play here than the Tinker, because I still have negation backup, so... And my opponent gets to Wasteland me, but I still have the ability to, you know, cycle repeal on Chalice. I have 2 of them. I still have Force pitching another blue card, and I have Tinker in the back pocket, so... I guess it just looks okay. There's no really viable attacks for them either. They have no play. All right, all right. I mean, this looks winning. All right. I don't think I want to Tinker without having the ability. Well, that's not true. I should just Tinker. Oh, wait, what? I'm in the middle of combat. Whoops. It would have been bad if they had a Wasteland. All right, well, I didn't really want that card anyways, so we can find a sorcery here. I found a sorcery. It's kind of nice. It's one of my less likely options. All right, so this is fine. We have 4 double force. We can repeal the Chalice next turn and just do the thing. Yeah, looks pretty good. I could be convinced that maybe I was supposed to Tinker earlier, but honestly, 2/4 sizing is very nice in Vintage. I like 2/4s between Hurkyl and the Chrome Shark. Still don't know what's in my opponent's hand, but all right. Repeal this Chalice. Brainstorm. These on top. Cast this, cast this, cast this, cast this. Yeah, they did. Cast this. Cast this. All right, I can't even use my top right now, but I could get rid of it if I needed to. Put them all back to my hand. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. I kind of want to see what's in their hand, I guess. Null Rod, Mox, Pearl, Wait, they should just play the Null Rod. I understand why they didn't. I guess they drew Mox after playing Chalice, but you gotta play the Null Rod, friend. I guess I would have had negation anyways, but. We can probably just go for a double Yogwill, right? We gotta be pretty close already. All right. It's not lit up yet, so we don't have 10. It's lit up, so we have 10. Eee. Who needs win conditions when you have Bolus's Citadel? Pretty broken magic card, if you had to ask me. All right, so my opponent probably should just slam that Null Rod, but we had the negation the whole time, so no problem. Gonna bring in the Mindbreak Trap, the Steel Sabotage, the Hurkyl's Recalls. I don't actually think I care about Dismember here. And then I can take out things like Fluster, Remora on the draw. Definitely thinking about keeping Remora on the play. But on the draw, probably worse. No, you know, it's not that bad. Maybe we'll try it. We could try keeping Remora in here, and we'll just take out things like Probe and Narset. I think those cards are pretty bad. Like, these cards are all really bad against shops anyways. We do have Basic Island, which makes Remora a lot better. Like, a bunch of Basic Islands is really nice against the Wasteland deck. Yeah, I think you have to keep this much mana. Even if they have no rods in their deck, like, you need to keep a hand that has 6 mana on turn 1. Oh, well, we lose. Man, Trinisphere has been really good against me recently. I lost a couple of games in the most recent challenge to Trinisphere turn 1, and looks like that trend is going to continue. What a brutal, brutal card. I mean, I can't do anything about anything you do here. Wasteland lock. Yeah, I mean, I have basics. I just don't have more basics. So I probably am not getting out of this. I guess I just hold the C for my third land. Ready for the Ghost Quarter? The Strip Mine? What's coming? No, just Workshop. I mean, I can't beat a spell, so... yeah, alright. I can beat that, technically. No Activate, though. Can't be good for me. Oh, wait, what? If we were gonna not act, why would we not? Didn't we have 3 mana floating? Like, what's going on, friend? All right, whatever. We move on. All right, cool. I will concede. Awesome. Yeah, Trinisphere. Let's try again. Oh wait, where's my? I didn't even put my Sphinx in the deck. All right. Well, we don't have our Sphinx in the deck. Who really needs a Sphinx anyways, right? I actually think this is probably a keep. We go Jet, Vault, Pass, and then we go Demonic, Tolarian, and we have a Force. Like, yeah, this is probably just a keep. It has so much power in it. They can't even Wasteland me, so... I guess they could technically have, like, Sphere into Null Rod or something similar, but... Like, play a Null Rod here, and then go Lotus Null Rod or something similar. Oh. Well. Now what do I Demonic for? I just Demonic for Tinker, I guess. This is real life. Alright. Let's just go Ancestral, Time Walk, so I don't get trapped. And then Demonic, Tinker. Yeah. I don't know. The broken cards, right? I actually kind of want to keep that card. So I might just repeal my Jet so I can have the Sabotage for their turn. Alright, well, this is just going to end up being like... I wanted the Sensei Stop, but I guess the Sensei Stop comes back. Yeah, they can just concede to that. GG's, opponent. GG's. Yeah, Tolarian Academy and Moxen confirm good. Don't call it a comeback. This is a nice one. Missing a little bit that we need, but it's pretty close. Let's try it. After those 1-2 rounds, we just kind of been rolling over our opponents. Just kind of, oh no, I should not have said anything. Now it's Bazaar time. We've dodged the Force of Vigors for so long, only to see them appear at the very last second. It is Dredge. I do think Dredge is the best Bazaar deck right now. I like how Dredge looks into the current metagame. I feel like this is a Ancestral on their turn angle. They dredged, and then they hit a Dredger. It's unfortunate. I'd love to be able to like Ancestral with Flusterstorm back up. It just doesn't feel like I'm going to have time to do something like that. At least if we like get our Ancestral countered. Oh god, they're just holding on to everything. So at least if we get our Ancestral countered, then we are more likely to be able to like draw Moxen and slam PO, but... What you got for me, opponent? Force of Will, or do you only have negations? I guess it's better for us that our Ancestral got misstep than our Soul Ring, to be honest. I don't think we can win this game without our Soul Ring, so I feel like that actually worked out okay for us in some ways. I do think that like if our Soul Ring got mental missteps, I don't know how we would ever recover from that. We would have to have our Ancestral draw us multiple Moxen, maybe. Just kind of a big ask. All right, they have decided it's time to activate the Bazaar. They hit a Golgari Grave Troll. They hit a Creeping Chill. They didn't hit an Icarid, though they are going to bring back a Silver Smoke Ghoul at the end step, and that will bring back the Prize Amalgams on their end step. So we have one turn, basically, and we actually are in trouble because we don't have... You know, our deck isn't like the best combo deck, or the best PO deck at finishing the game. We don't have Mentor Time Walk. We don't have Tendrils or something, so... Oh, wait. What? Does this only come on your turn? Oh, wow. I learned something today. I thought this was any turn where 3 or more life was gained, but it's actually only on their end step. Wow. I had no idea. That's crazy. I mean, we still only have one turn, so it doesn't really matter, but we could have died if they had like more chills and some things. We didn't activate Bazaar in the upkeep? Does that mean they have another piece of counter magic or something? Weird. All right, we're super dead on our next turn, so we do need to win. The way we win this game is we chain POs into drawing our whole deck and then do the Yogwill Citadel combo. It's quite a big ask, actually. I think I'm supposed to keep this in case I draw Brainstorm, so I can have better Tinker. So what I am looking for is any non-Opal Moxen. And actually, I can't have an Opal Moxen because I think this deck only has one Opal, so... Any Moxen. Friends of the channel, please. Moxen. That's a dress down. Notably not a Moxen. If I dress down and I hit a Moxen, I can still PO. I think it's better than like POing for 2 here and not being able to replay anyways. So if this resolves and I draw a Moxen, Mana Crypt is our best one. All right, Dredge, you got me. Did not get there. The mental misstep was... Ooh, so brutal. All right, so I actually haven't gotten a sideboard against this at all yet, but we have a variety of things. Soul Guide, Needle, Crypt, Tormods, Sphinx, Trap, and Surgical. 7 different pieces of Graveyard Hate. I decided I wanted to pick Trap and Surgical because I think they're kind of cool with Hurkyls, where if I cast a Repeal, I can actually find a trap. Something like that. I don't need a Karn. I definitely don't need Remora. I definitely don't need this. Well, I'm already on. I probably can get rid of an island, but definitely don't need Dress Down. Definitely don't need Negation. There's so many cards to take out. Wow. That's just a pile of horrible cards, huh? Guess we're keeping the rest. Okay. Let's try this. I mean, you should be much better post board here. That's not a good one. I can tell you that much. This one also has issues, but... I definitely don't need a mental misstep. That card is not very good. So if I go Emerald, see Demonic for... I can go like Mana Crypt, and if I go Mana Crypt, I can, or like, you know, another like Sapphire maybe Sapphire's, no, Mana Crypt is better because in the case I can go to the next turn. If I go Mana Crypt and I can get all the way to Opal, it means I can protect my things with Flusterstorm, and then I mean, Flusterstorm doesn't protect me from grief, so there's some downsides there. I could, of course, go like Demonic for Rav Trap or something, but I feel like I want to get a Mana Crypt. My opponent is mulliganing to 4, so that's also an upside. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could technically do something else here too. There's like plenty of choices that are reasonable. You could go like Demonic for Tormod Crypt or something. Go Mana Crypt. I'm just gonna go Opal Mana Crypt. And then hopefully I will just be able to use Flusterstorm to protect myself, and then PO for good value. That's the plan. Opponent only had 4 cards, so that makes this play like a little bit better too. Again, if I get grief, it's super bad. All right. We didn't get griefed, and I have the ability to hold up Flusterstorm on my PO, so I feel pretty good about this. Any Mox Probe is fine too. I guess Probe, I'm not going to cast Probe actually, because Probe is going to expose me to Mindbreak Trap immediately, which I don't want to do. This way, like if they have Force plus Mindbreak Trap, I don't get my whole stack trapped. see if they have the Mind Break Trap after by casting Gataxian Probe. No, they just have another Bazaar. So this is a pretty easy, perfect mana for recast PO. Then wish I had a blue mana so I could play Hurkyls here. Just, okay, a full refill. But I guess we'll go Merchant for Ancestral. I don't think it hurts me to just play this Tabernacle out. And we can always vamp for Hate on the next upkeep if we want. Because they are going to go pretty deep with this turn. But between Tabernacle and a Graveyard Clear should be fine. Just F6. Double Chill, huh? They hate activating in the upkeep. Huh? It's not something they're interested in doing. Oh, right. They have a Bazaar in their hand. Of course they didn't activate it in their upkeep, Justin. You dumbass. They want to keep the Bazaar, which makes perfect sense. They can bring everything back, but it's just going to go away to Tabernacle. So when I vamp for a Graveyard Clear, they just can't win. Oh, they're not going to play? What's going on, friend? You have your second Bazaar, right? I could even just vamp for just not doing it. All right. I don't know. Vamp for something. Yeah. I agree. Okay, cool. Man, we have so many bad cards though. I don't think it matters. I think none of the other cards are better, so it's just fine. We didn't have to show any of our things either, so. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to play a Tabernacle. Tabernacle doesn't beat Dredge on its own because of Icarid, but Tabernacle in combination with a Graveyard Clear is really, really nice. Obviously, this hand is missing a Moxen, so that I could play Lantern with Flusterstorm backup, but you can't ask for everything, right? And we are definitely insulated against Hollow Boys. Pretty bad against Grief. Negation, Force. But nothing? All right, Mox. No Mox. All right, well, I'm going to jam this. Obviously, there's downside, but I don't think waiting is helping us here. Okay, sweet. I'm just going to hit their Dredger. It's kind of nice. I can get to hold this up. This is why people like Lantern more than Crypt. Crypt is nice in PO and off Karn because 0 drop, but Lantern being a double active, you can like feel like a 1.5 activations of Graveyard Clearing. Like right here, it was almost better than a, like it's just as good as a full clear. So, and I still have a full clear too. Wasteland's pretty nice here for them. Slow me down. But it does mean they don't have a Wasteland for my Tabernacle if they like go for a Hollow Boys plan here. Icarid, no Dredger. Okay. I might still have to hit this because if they Icarid, eat Icarid and bring back... Oh, I just have... I guess I just hold a Tabernacle if they want to do that. Yeah, that's fine. I guess if they have a second Wasteland, that gets a little dicey, but... If they want to like Icarid, eat Icarid, bring back an Amalgam here, we do have that covered, so I think it's okay for us to do, or for them to do, or for us to let them do, I should say. But again, I guess again, if they have another wasteland, then this play is a lot worse. Because then I have to beat a 3-3 in play. But I can beat that technically with a 2-4, but I currently don't have a lot of agency in terms of casting spells because I did play the Underground Sea and get wastelanded. So alright, so the Amalgam's coming in. The Icarid's going away. I guess I could technically just wipe their yard here. I don't even need to wipe their yard, though, because of this Tabernacle, so... Alright, Amalgam goes away. And there go back to natural drawing again. Oh, they've been natural drawing. They do have a wasteland, so if they bring back this Amalgam some other time, then we will have to pop the lantern. Let's see what they can have. All they need is a black creature, right? They did not hit a black creature. They did have second Bazaar. So I still don't have to pop. Oh my gosh, they have a hollow one right after. Wow. All right, well, we could lose this game, which I think is kind of wild to me, but this is a losable game, which is so crazy. We also haven't drawn any mana, so that's part of it, but don't have to pop this lantern. So that's a nice one, but if they want to eat their prize Amalgam, by all means. Man, double wasteland into a hollow one after all that was pretty rough for me. I have a couple hits to give, though. And if I can just hit a Mox, then we are off to the races. Shouldn't have to use Lantern right away, so I can keep my Opal turned on. So there's a shell. They have a second one? Wow. All right, I really need help. Mox? This game is so silly. Losing this is so tilting. Like, how in a million years am I actually losing this game? Oh, it's so doomed. I guess I shouldn't have used that. I should have let them make the mistake and trap them. They're never supposed to trap there because, or I should never really get able to hit trap there because they don't want to act. They should just bring the Icarid into play. So there's really no opportunity I should ever be able to trap there, but I could at least let them make the mistake. How do I even win this game? I don't even know at this point. Into Lotus. Has to be Lotus. It's almost Lotus. Is it better to brainstorm? No, let's repeal first. I'm drawing all my hate pieces, and Hollow One laughs at hate pieces. I still need Black Lotus, though. Man, losing that game has got to be the most tilting thing I've ever seen. Crazy to lose that game to Dredge. Hollow One is just, man, hell of a card. Yeah, so this did not go super well, to be honest. We kind of got bullied by Lavinia a little bit. We didn't really get to do any cool Remora things. We did have some nice Hurkyl's values, which was enough to make me feel happy and fulfilled, which is that's what we aim for here, right? But yeah, I mean, like I said, you can kind of do whatever you want inside of PO, and Hurkyl's and Remoras as your last couple cards is totally within range and totally playable, right? But in the end, maybe not optimal. So don't forget to subscribe to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss any Monday, Wednesday, Friday vintage videos. We'll see you then.